Uthavarirasim Yasyomatram Bhuvanam Samastam Guhahitam Tam Ramanam Gabhedam Chitta Vihidam Hridijantaya. We just started the 10th. See, there is a link between one shloka to another. It is not that each one is just an independent description of the author. In the earlier stanzas, he has been giving again and again the analogy of the sun. He says the sun, the moment he rises up early in the morning, he activates all the eyes. All the eyes wake up and we see all the objects, and he propels us into various kinds of activities. Suddenly we get up, we go to the bathroom, wash our feet, wash our face, and then sit for a few minutes on meditation or whatever it may be, and then get yourself ready for going to the office after having a breakfast. So, he activates everybody, all the people together simultaneously in the entire universe, whether it be at New York, whether it be at New Delhi, whether it be at Tiruvannamalai, everywhere. Now the question is asked, if the sun is capable of activating us all, why can't we take it? It is the same sun who is activating all of us, and why should we bring one Atman into the picture? There is no need. And not only that, the Gayatri mantra seems to be clearly addressed to the sun. And there it says, Dhiyo yona prachodayati. May the sun induce our mind to go in the spiritual direction. So that means you were talking in the previous one that the various buddhis, there is a reflection from the Atman, and out of that reflection so many things come and all that. Why should you bring all these mythical stories? It's a straightforward case. Sun is capable of activating all of us. So it is the sun who activates, and he directly comes and hits against your buddhi, gets dispersed, and then there are various people and all such things. There is only one sun. Why do you want to bring one Atman, one self? And he gives the answer to it here. Divasvat prabhatam yatharupamacham. It is the 10th. Divasvat prabhatam yatharupamacham. Prabhunnati nabhatamevam yamaswan. Yadabhata abhasayatyakshmekaha. Sadhityopalabdhiswarupo gamatma. Sadhityopalabdhiswarupo gamatma. He says, look here, yes, we agree, but the sun can never independently act. Now, for instance, without the eyes, supposing I am blind, no amount of the effulgence of the sun will be of any use to me, and it cannot activate me. It is of no use. And similarly, they are all interdependent. They are not independent. Atman is always independent. It is never dependent on any of the external factors. So, the eye is also dependent on the sun. The sun is dependent on the eye. Without the eyes being there, the sun alone cannot activate your eyesight. Similarly, if there are objects where the sun doesn't shine, where the sun doesn't enlighten it, where the sun's light doesn't fall, suppose you have a dark room where there are no windows, there are no ventilations, you are keeping a glass like where the sunlight cannot enter. Then where the sunlight is not there, the eyes alone cannot be activated, the eyes cannot see in the darkness. It will be pitch dark, the eyes will not be able to see the various objects. So they are all interdependent ones, and naturally neither of them can be the Atma. Not only that, where from does the sun get his effulgence from? He gets his effulgence from that Atma. That is because the physical science says he is only atoms and molecules. There are a number of electrons and all that going on. It is only because of the effulgence which he borrows from the Atman. Then what happens? The subatomic particles, like the protons, like the pions, like the mesons, so all those things, they begin to get activated, and the one atom goes and hits against the other, and what you can get as fission or fusion, all these things take place, and then it's a chain reaction. It hits A, hits B, B hits C, C hits D, and everywhere it is chaos. And then when they hit each other, then immense heat is produced out of it, and that comes to as sunlight. But who activated those atoms? It is we, it is I, it is myself, it is the Atman. So without the Atman, the sun will not be able to act. Yasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. It is he is the only one who shines, and everybody is acting on that reflected glory, that's all. So he says, Vivasvat prabhatam yatha rupamaksham pragannatina bhatamevam vivasvam. Vivasvat prabhatam rupam yatha aksham pasyati. The eyes, aksham, you see the word aksha, normally the word akshi denotes the eye. The word aksha is a common term for all the indriyas, for all our senses. The eyes, the ears, the nose, they are all known as aksha. But here, obviously, he means only this particular sense known as the eyesight. He says yatha, in the same manner as Vivasvat prabhatam rupam aksham pasyati. Vivasvat prabhatam, that on which the sunlight shines, the one which has been enlightened, prabhatam, that which has been enlightened. So the object which has been enlightened by the Vivaswan. Who is Vivaswan? Vivaswan is Suryadeva, the sun. So it is the sun who shines on the various objects. Then what happens? Then the forms are seen by the eyes. Rupam aksham pasyati. Then the form is being seen by the eyes. So both are interdependent. The eyes themselves cannot see unless there is a sun. Then pragannatin abhatamevam vivaswan. Then na abhatam evam aksham na pragannati. If the sun doesn't shine on anything, if it is kept inside the dark room, na abhatam. Na abhatam means that which has not been, on which the sunlight has not fallen. That which is not enlightened by the sun. Na abhatam. Aksham na praminhati. The eyes are not able to see. Eyes can see only those which are shone by the sunlight. If the sunlight doesn't fall, then in the darkness the eyes cannot see. Wherefrom does that sun get his light? He says, Yada abhataha. When he is enlightened by the Atman is not mentioned here because the Atman is Buddha. It is hidden. It is the remote control. So, yada bhata abhasa yadjakshame yada abhataha tada aksham abhasi. when the sun gets his effulgence, his Kanti, his tejas from the Atman, then only he is able to give light to your eyes, to enable the eyes to see the various objects. The eyes derive their power from the sun. And we have the Vedas say, the various indriyas have all come from the various indriyas of that Virat Purusha, the cosmic being, who was the first being, who was the first one, the Hiranyagarbha, Sashesha Purusha. So when he came, from his body, from the various indriyas, these things came up. So they had the power to give light to those indriyas in the men. The sun came up from the eyes of the Virat. Chaksha Surya Vajayata Mukhadindascha Agnischa Radhat Vajivajayata. So like that, the sun, Chandrama Panaso Jataha, from the mind of that Virat Purusha, the moon came. The moon, he has got another name called the Luna. That is why it is very much linked with the mind. Whenever the mind is not working all right, when it gets agitated, you will find there is the influence of the moon on it. That is why when the man gets permanently agitated and goes out of the boundary of sanity, he is called a lunatic. So Luna has got to do with the moon. Similarly, the eyes have got to do with the sun. Chaksha Surya Vajayata. So, from the solar principle only, the eyes are deriving their power. So, Yada Bhata, when once he gets his power, the power which is derived, which is born from the Atman, then he is able to give his power and enlighten the action. Then he is alone sufficient. Ekaha. He alone is sufficient, but he can't do it himself because he is only the atoms and molecules which are unconscious. What do you mean by unconscious? There is nothing which is unconscious in the world. It is only consciousness. But then what is called the manifested consciousness and the unmanifested consciousness. The unmanifested consciousness we call it as jada or insentient. And we have got. And again, what is consciousness? We should always remember the definition, otherwise we will never understand. Consciousness means the I consciousness, the feeling I am, that amness, that existence, being, that is what is called the Chaitanya. While this is not aware that it exists. So naturally we call this as unconscious. These are only a terminology which we use. But in the ultimate analysis, there is nothing called unconscious. Everything is conscious. There is nothing but consciousness. So, that we should remember. Yada bhata abhasa yadyakshamekaha. So he says, the entire thing is dependent on the Atma giving him. Here, there are some very hidden teachings contained in this. The hidden teaching is, unless the anugraha of the Atma comes on the Surya can't do anything. Unless the Surya's anugraha, that is the grace, unless the grace comes, the eyes cannot see anything. All powers become useless unless the grace comes from the above. So the grace is an important but an unknown factor in our life. We may make all our efforts, but the ultimate success depends on the grace. Whose grace? Yes. Depending on the adhikaritva of the questioner, depending on the deservedness and the growth of the antenna of the aspirant, the answer will differ. To the one who is inclined to think of a personal God, we would say it is the personal grace, it is the anugraha of the Divine Mother, it is the anugraha of Lord Vinayaka, that is what we say. But a man who is devoted to his Guru, who considers that everything is his Guru himself, and he will say it is Guru Kripa, it is all my Guru's grace. But the one who knows, who goes to the final stage, he will say it is Atma Kripa. I alone exist. I am, that's all. So any Kripa comes from that I. But which I? It is that ultimate I. But as at present you are not in communication with your ultimate I. You are going on with your bogus I. But then the ultimate I is looking at you with all compassion. Compassion, kindness, all these are qualities of consciousness. If there is no consciousness, this cannot be happy with you, this cannot be kind to you, this cannot be compassionate towards you. So obviously, some radiation comes from that self to help you. The more the effort you undertake, that inner consciousness that also tries to come towards you and link you with it, and that power, we call it as the grace. And that is why he says, Yada Bhataha, unless that shines over us, where are we? We cannot go. That anugraha, that grace, the kripa, it is very much needed. Then, another question is, all right, you say, the eye is getting its power from the sun is getting power from the Atman. Then why not say that there is some other power which gives its power to Atman, there is why the Atman works? Why not say like that? Why do you think that Atman alone gives? Who told you that Atman has got the power himself? Why not assume that there is somebody above the Atman? He does. Well, if you were to say that, then we will ask, where from that other thing gets its power? Then we will say there is something else above it. Then we will say there is something else above it. Then this is called infinite regression. You can't stop anywhere. You can going on showing there is one supervisor to supervise here. Then to supervise the supervisor, you put another supervisor. And then you do not know whether that supervisor, you correctly put another supervisor. Where will it end? It won't end anywhere. This is called anavastha dosha. In the Vedantic Prakriya, this is called anavastha dosha. It doesn't get established at one place, it goes on moving to infinity. That is called infinite regression, anavastha dosha. So this logic is faulty, so you can't take this logic. So we come up to that one level only. We know that the sun is only a jadavastu. These are all made up of the subatomic particles, and it has no manifested consciousness, and that is why we take it. There should be somebody else who is enlightening it, so we stop with the Atman. You can't say that behind the Atman there is Atman number 2, then above it is Atman number 3, above it is Atman number 4, then there is no meaning in it. It will go on for infinity as what is called infinite regression, anavastha dosha. So, we go to the next 11. Yatha surya yekop swanekas jalasu Yatha surya yekaha apsu anekas jalasu Yatha surya yekop swanekas jalasu Sthiraswapyanan bhadvibhavya swarupaham Jalasu prabhinnasu dishvevamekaha Shadhityopalabdhi swarupo gamatman Jalasu prabhinnasu dishvevamekaha Sadhityopalabdhi swarupo gamatman. And that Atman, what sort of Atman? Now again, he is going to explain this fact which is troubling us all. The main thing which troubles us is, if there is only one Atman, if there is only one super consciousness, why then all this diversity of various people with different temperaments, with different conditioning? Why? Somebody is a chief, somebody is a saint, somebody is a villain, somebody is in between, somebody is religious, somebody is an atheist. Why? All this difference. Somebody is dull, somebody is intelligent. If there is one Atman, then why is there no uniformity? He had already explained. Rather, in order to emphasize this fact, unless we know this, we will never get into the ekatma bhava. We have to come to the holistic sense that everything is one whole. That is why a person who has reached that holistic state, he is called a holy man. There, even though it is H-O-L-Y, it has got connection with W-H-O-L-L-Y. The one who is wholly integrated with the entire nature and the world and everything, and the entire universe, he alone is called holy. So, again he is going to give almost the, see, Ethachara Bodhakasta, he has already told that if you keep in a pot some water, if one is green and one is reddish, you have put some colors in it, then somewhere you will see the sun as reddish and somewhere you will see it as greenish, somewhere as yellowish light, but the sun is all effulgence and he has no color in him. So more or less the same point is trying to emphasize. It is slightly a repetition like Yatha Surya Yekaha Apsuan Ekas Chalasu Suryaha Yekaha Yatha in the same manner as Suryaha Yekaha, there is only one sun. There is only one Atman. Believe it. Unless you believe in it, you will be having jealousies, mutual envies, anger. So the entire impurities will be there. And it is these impurities will be clouding and you will never be able to see the Atman. The only way to do it is remove and make the mind pure. It is only the pure mind. He has already told in the previous one, unless you become Shuddha Cheta, unless the mind becomes 100% pure, without vasanas, without conditioning, the state of no mind, unless we reach it, we cannot go out. And to reach it is essential. You should know that it is I who is in all these forms. Then I will have no desires. I will never be envious of anybody. Then I will know, as a Swamiji, I don't possess a car, but whoever has got a Mercedes Benz, in that man's form, it is I who is working. So I am not lacking any enjoyment. I may not be having any house of my own. All the houses, all the people who are enjoying in all the houses, in all their forms, it is my conscience is working. So where is the lack? I am a Purna. I am a Purna Kama. I lack in nothing. In all the forms I am working. As I said the other day, come unto me, I have no hands but your own. That's all. All the hands are yours. All the heads are yours. Sahasraksha, all these eyes, he is seeing through all your eyes. Where are you seeing? You are not the doer. He is the doer. He listens. He speaks. So, now there is one Surya. You find there is some running water in a pond here. You have got a small pond. You have seen the sun. And the water is flowing in it. Just then, half an hour back, there has been rain, so the water is flowing. So the water is moving, chala. And you are seeing the sun is also moving, it is getting agitated, it is getting ruffled, it is oscillating. But is it really oscillating? The sun is in his own phase, nothing can ruffle him, nothing can agitate him. He is there in an unagitated and unruffled state. So what you are seeing is only the image, and the image seems to move simply because of the upadhi. Again, what is upadhi? Upadhi is an external factor which lends its color to an object without getting inherent or without becoming a constituent of it. It is external, outwardly it looks. But on the contrary, the object itself remains untainted. It is nirlipta. It doesn't have all these objects, but because of this external factor, the upadhi, just like the crystal and the hibiscus flower. So the japa kusma, when it is stuck behind, it looks reddish like, but the crystal is pure white. It has no other color. But still the color has come from outside. The color has not gone into the formation of the crystal. It is not inherent in it. It is not an inherent characteristic of the crystal. It is only the external one. Remove the upadhi, it shines pure. So, here the upadhis are the water, flowing water. Somewhere it is flowing. You keep a pot, it is still. So when you look into the pot, which is sthira, which is still, which is unmoving, which is static, you find the sun which is static, absolutely unmoving. So, yatha surya yeko, yekaha, There is only one sun. Believe in it. Remember, there is no question. When once you are established in that one point, that there is only one consciousness. And as I said, the entire quantum physics has come to this. The Nobel Prize winner George Wald says that consciousness has got no plural. It is always in singular because there is only one consciousness which has become all. And it looks like Vedanta, but he is writing quantum physics. So, yatha surya yekaha apsu anekas chalasu. There are ever so many ponds and chalasu. Chala means moving. Chalasu apsu. Apsu means water. So the water is moving, it is oscillating, and the Surya is found to be many. In each pond you find a sun. There are 20 ponds and you find there are 20 suns. Are there 20 suns? Not at all. There is only one. Ekaha eva. There is only one. But anekaha vibhati. She is being seen as many. Then, similarly, sthirasu api. Similarly, there will be parts which contains water which is sthira. Sthira means unmoving. It is just still. The water is still. And then again you see the sun is unmoving there. You look at the pond, the sun is moving. You look at the pond, the sun is unmoving. And there is only one sun. He is neither moving or unmoving, he is in his own pace, whatever it may be like. So, sthirasvat ananyat vibhavya swarupaha. Then what is his real form? Is this the form or is that the form? His swarupa, even though here he has got that upadhi of water, even though it looks as if he is moving, neither the movement of the water nor the stillness of the water is going to affect him. He is ananvat vibhavya swarupaha. Vibhavya means that which is conceived. How will you conceive his form? How will you think of his form? So his form has to be thought of as ananvat. Ananvat means that anu gacchati iti anvagaha. So, ananvad means that which does not follow the upadhi. So, it does not follow the water. The real sun, it is not bothered whether the water is moving, whether the water is not moving, it is going in its own path, in its own way. It has nothing to do with what is happening here. Similarly, the Atman, it is only one. But then, its reflection on the buddhi, it gets dispersed. Just as one ray of white light, when it is passed through the prism, it just gets dispersed into the seven colored, like the violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. So in the same way, according to the various buddhis, which are containing the computer memory of all your latest, these latent tendencies from the past, what are called the conditionings, the preconditionings, irascible temperament. So all these things which have accrued to you by your previous habits, cultivated for a number of births, which we call as the preconditionings, so they are all differing. And the basic energy you are getting from that Atman, but that Atman is acting through the buddhi, through the medium, and as such, you may get a red light, you may get a violet light, you may get an indigo light, and similarly you may get a cheat out of it. So one man may be a cheat, and another man may be a saint, another man may be a villain, and another man may be a theist, and another an atheist. So all these things, the entire differentiation between man to man, animal to animal, all these things take place because of the dispersion of the reflected light on the aneka dhishu, on the many intellects. Intellect happens to be the medium in which it gets reflected. Whenever any ray passes through any medium, depending on the specific gravity of it, it has to get dispersed. And it is dispersed into many, not into one alone. So, Salasu prabhinna sudhishveva mekaha. So when you see the chalasu apsu, it is prabhinna. When you see the intellects, chalasu dhishu, where you find intellects which are moving because of the conditioning, it is going on thinking of the grandson, it is having a project to open a school, it is thinking of going for the, what do you may say, Uti races. So, the mind is in different ways working. It is prabhinna. Prabhinna means it is completely different. Each one is different. Your intellect is different from mine, and my conscience is different from his, and his conscience is different from his. And even my own conscience differs from day to day. Early morning my conscience is at a different level, but now it is at a different level. When I was a child, my conscience is at a different level. So the Vijnanamaya Kosha, it goes on growing. Vijnanamaya Kosha is the consciousness, the external consciousness. I am not talking the ultimate consciousness. So this consciousness grows, this consciousness differs. And this consciousness, the reflected consciousness, which comes reflected through the medium of the buddhi. So chalasu prabhinna, but then sudhishveva mekaha. As for the people who have completely discarded the mind, no vasanas, no samskaras, no conditionings, it has been purgated completely. So there is absolutely known, completely purified. Sudhishu. Sudhishu means the people whose intellect is full of discrimination. The discriminative wisdom, the sthita pragyata, that is what is called the discriminative wisdom, where you know this is Atman, the rest is all Anatman. Atman alone exists. So the one who is able to discriminate, he is called the man of discriminative wisdom, he is called the Sudhi. The one who has got a good intellect. What is good? The one who knows the ultimate good. That is the Atman. So Sudhishu, for them all, if there are 20 realistic people here, they will not be seeing different people. For them they will see only one. Somebody went and asked Bhagavan, Bhagavan, will you be able to recognize another advanced soul, a realized soul like you? If he comes before you, will you be able to say, oh, he is a realized soul like me? Will you be able to recognize him? Bhagavan says, sorry, I can't. People are, my Lord, a person who is in the highest state, if he is going to say that I can't recognize another advanced soul, if Ananda Mahima were to come to Bhagavan, if Bhagavan says, well, I don't recognize, I don't know in which state she is, well, it is something which shocks us. And that is because for a jnani, he sees everybody as himself, there is nobody but himself. Where is an ajnani? Where is the realized soul? He is the only realized soul. There is nobody else. There is only one consciousness, he is that, everybody is that. Vasudeva sarvamiti, Mahatma Suduttabha. He knows it is my consciousness which has gone everywhere. If my consciousness is the highest, it is one with that ultimate one, that ultimate absolute, eternal absolute, then where is the question of any other jnani? There is no ajnani, there is no jnani, I alone exist. That's all. That will be the stage. Shanit chalasu prabhinna sudhishveva mekaha. So, even though wherever the mind is dispersed because of the conditioning, because of the latent tendencies inherited as a legacy from the previous birth and the previous conditioning, there it looks as if the Atman has been dispersed into different beings. It looks as if his Atman is different from mine and his Atman is different from mine. But absolutely not. At the highest level is only one. This is only an image. It looks like that. The images in the part, the diverse images, the multifarious images in the parts and the parts, they do not exist. What exists is that only one. Similarly, these various Atmans do not exist. What exists is that one pure Atman, who is the self-evident principle, Sanityopaladhi Swarupo Gamatma. Nityopalabdhi Swarupa, Nitya Siddha Swarupa. Where are we going to find out? There is nobody can deny his own existence. Even if he denies, denial is an affirmation. If I were to say, well, I am not here, it is foolish. My saying itself shows that I am here. Otherwise, how do I talk? How do I say? So, that is the quality of that ultimate Atman. So the mute boy, he says, I am the Atman. Now, Ghanachanna drishtir ghanachanna markam yatha nishprabham manyate chati mudam tatha baddha baddhati yo mudha drishte sanithyopalabdhi swarupo gamatman sanithyopalabdhi swarupo gamatman. Now, he says, Ghanachanna drishtihi ghanachanna markam. Ghana means the meghas, the clouds. Now you find there are clouds. You are not able to see the sun. It's 12 o'clock the noon. See, now it is barely 5 o'clock. Normally the sunlight will be there, but you are not able to see the sun because there are clouds. The clouds are hidden. Does it mean the clouds have gone and covered and put the sun inside a gunny bag and thus covered it completely? It is only a foolish man who will think this cloud is very powerful. It has gone and completely covered this entire sun and it has made him powerless. Nishprabha. Prabha means Kanti, shine. It has made him, it has taken away all his shine, it has covered him completely. Who will think like that? You and I know this is only covering your eyesight because it has come in between as an intermediary curtain and you are unable to see that, but the sun is in his fullest effulgence. There is nothing in the world which can reduce his power of effulgence. It is not possible. Ghanachanna drishtir ghanachanna markam yatha nishprabham manyate cha atimudha. Atimudha manyate. It is only the most foolish one who will think like this. Manyate, he thinks. What he thinks? Nishprabham arkam. He will think that the sun has got absolutely no effulgence. Look here. The cloud has got the power to cover him completely. It has become an avarana and it has made him nishprabha. It has made him lack in his luster. It has taken it away. So, bhavachanna drishtihi. Then what is actually channa? Channa means covered. Avrita. It has been covered. It has been hidden. So what is hidden? What has been covered? Your eyesight has been covered because you are unable to see. There is a curtain before your eyes, so you are not able to see. Drishtihi, your eyesight has been hidden, has been covered. Channa by the ghana. Ghana means by the cloud. The cloud has got the power to put a curtain before your eyes. That's all. And Ghanachanna markam nishprabham manyate. But then a mudha, an atimudha, a man who is number one foolish, number one stupid, that fellow will think that it is the sun which has been Ghanachanna, it is the sun which has been covered by the cloud, and naturally the sun has become reduced in its luster. Nishprabham. It is not reduced, it is completed, it is taken away because nothing comes. But then, if you use your common sense, how are you seeing the cloud? Unless the light was there. The sun may not be there, the sunlight is there, that is why you are seeing the cloud. So even for seeing the cloud, the sunlight is necessary, which seeps through and which permeates through the entire cloud and makes your eye see. So the sun is as it is, and not a little of it has been taken away. It remains as it is in its fullest glory and splendor. Yatha nishprabham manyate jati mudhan tatha baddha baddhati yo mudha drishtehim. This will require a little more explanation. How we are thinking that we are bound. We are making a mix-up. Look here, the body is unconscious. It cannot talk, it cannot feel. All the feeling, all the interpretation of the pain and the agony, they are all coming out of your Atman. Atman alone has got that power. Along with the prana, it has got the power. If somebody cuts my hand cannot weep. But I weep. Oh, somebody has cut my hand. So what happens is, it is a second-hand experience that Atman is having. The hand is cut, hand cannot speak. The Atman speaks and it wails, it is weeping, but it never had the experience of cutting. See, what happened was, there was a Swamiji who was sitting in a driveway where there are 3-4 paths going. He was sitting there in a small cottage, sitting outside. A cow was passing through, it went away through one of the, and a butcher has been pursuing it. He came a little while later. He was puzzled which way the cow has gone. He wanted to catch it and take it for butchery. When he saw this man sitting in his meditation, he called him, "Hey, Swamiji, did you see a cow going? By which way did it go?" See, it is told in our Shastras that Go Brahmana Rakshane, when a man has to protect a highly saintly being, or when he has to protect a cow, he can tell a lie. There the lie is considered as the truth. It comes in the Karna Parma. There are certain occasions where you are entitled to lie. But this is not for a sadhaka, this is for an ordinary person. For a sadhaka there is no compromise at all. That is all. Your head may go, you have no business. Yes, you need not answer. Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat, na bruyat satyam priyam. Don't tell this satya which will create a calamity or disaster for somebody else. Keep quiet, let him cut off your head, but don't. That's all. That's the difference. That's all. So when you ask, that fellow is answering, the one who saw doesn't talk, the one who talks he has not seen, the one who coordinates both the senses, he was sitting at the feet of his Guru. Look at what sort of nonsense he is talking. He meant, my eyes have seen but it cannot talk. And the one who talks is my tongue, it has not seen, it is a second-hand information, you can't believe it. Because it has not seen. And the one who is coordinating both, I was in meditation, I was at the feet of my Guru. That fellow thought he's a madcap and he went away. He didn't ask me. That's all. So this is exactly what is happening. The Atma is taking the characteristics, the dharma of the body, and the body is taking the dharma of this, both are intermixed, and thus a granthi has formed. A knot has formed, which is called the Chit Jada Granthi. The insentient and the sentient both have joined together and they have exchanged their characteristics, which is known as Paraspara Adhyasa. Adhyasa means the superimposition of the characteristic of something else on it. That is what is called Adhyasa. For instance, in the evening when you came, it was dusk, the electricity has gone, and you saw a rope nicely 2 or 3 curvature, and you immediately said, yes, we have heard that Ramanashram has got some snakes, this is definitely a serpent. So, the characteristic of a serpent you have superimposed due to your Brahma, due to your delusion on that rope. And this is called the Adhyasa. So the adhyasa remains only in your mind. What you see is all false. What exists is only that existence. That existence has lent its existence to it. But for the rope, you are not a fool to think that somewhere where there is nothing, you will not imagine, oh, here is a serpent. There was something. So that isness of the rope has been mistaken for the isness of the serpent. That's all. So the isness is common, that existence is common. So that is called the Mithya Adhisthana, Mithya Jagat Adhisthanayi Namaha. In Lalita Sahasranama there is a beautiful name for the Divine Mother. This entire world is a Mithya. It is all a false appearance. But a false appearance cannot be there unless something exists. The one which exists is that supreme power, that supreme consciousness, that Chit Shakti, whom we call as the Divine Mother. So she is called Mithya Jagat Adhisthana. With this we stop. This one we'll discuss further tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll be finishing it. And I have to go to the Himalayas on 6th, and perhaps as for the desire of the president of this ashram, and we're coming back by December 1st week, and if they desire, the ashram desires, we'll be continuing the rest of the texts, like Atma Bodha, Atma Sakshatkara Prakarana, Guru Smriti. So we'll be taking them up one by one. If Bhagavan wills, and the ashram desires. So, tomorrow we have got the class. Tomorrow the last 2 shlokas will be taught.